So, do you consider yourself more of a buyer or a maker?
If you had asked me maybe 5 years ago, I'd be a buyer. So I don't really know what I was doing, especially like early on. Now I'm a maker.
You make a lot of props.
Yeah, I'm making a ton of props now. I'm working on the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core now.
Yeah, I had a whole subsection about that.
Oh shit.
That's okay.
But yeah, I'm working on once I get the funding for it, I'm gonna be remaking my Link cosplay completely from scratch.
Okay. Now you kinda answered this, but you kinda didn't. So when did Furry happen? Before or after college?
During. I never knew that was like a thing, and then one of my friends was like pulling up pictures and was like, "Oh, look at this! This is so funny." I remember just kind of looking at it. And my favorite game. Oh, let me just preface this by saying my favorite game of all time is Majora's Mask. And if you're unfamiliar, please play it. It's a wonderful game. I played the GameCube version though, but the whole premise is like wearing masks and shit, and I love that. I love the idea of not necessarily like anonymity. I can't say the word anonymous. Yeah. Whatever. But that's. Like seeing the cost, like I had no idea what the negative connotations to the whole furry thing was.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Good.
Like that's not something that I subscribe to personally. Like obviously it exists, but I always thought the costumes was like the coolest thing. Just dressing up in these different costumes, like people hand making them or whatever. I don't know. I think it's the costuming and like how people interact with the public or with other people in costume. That just kind of like drew me towards the fandom, and like I still consider myself one, though not as like, I don't know, hard to say.
Right, you and Heather both into it, right?
Yeah, that's how we met actually. We met at Anthrocon. It was cool.
Do you have your own furry suit?
No, well I have a mask. I have like costume pieces,
mm-hmm.
But I don't own like a full body thing.
So no fur sewn?
Well, I obviously have one.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about obviously. There's one that I like use to represent myself.
Right.
But it's not like a lifestyle thing. It's
right. Okay, so the furry fandom has always been kind of the, redhead stepchild of like the cosplay community. So in certain points. I'm gonna finish the question. I'll let you.
Okay. I'm gonna finish the question. No, let me stop you right there. Yeah, go ahead.
But like I guess. It's been like a way where people should see it, but how do you think people should see it? And what did the Rule 32 part of it do to the fandom?
Rule 32?
If there's something about it, it's porn.
Oh, 34.
Is it 34?
Yeah.
So what's Rule 34? Oh, it's like little things.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, Rule 34. What did that do to the fandom?
I don't think it's fair for me to...
Speak on the entire thing?
Yeah, speak on the entire thing. I can only speak on my experiences.
Right. Do that.
So what was the first part of the question?
How should we see it? If we see it at all. In your opinion. Because when I saw it, I was like, You remember I was talking to you about it.
So okay, full disclosure, it's very strange. I'm not going to use the word weird. Everything's like Marvel's weird. Like it's a whole nother level of different, right?
Right.
I think that obviously acknowledging the more negative parts of the fandom that sometimes get all of the attention, unfortunately, I think understanding that, go into it with like an open mind, be curious. It's obviously very strange. People are just having fun.
Because I've seen your Instagram video and it opened my eyes. I was like, oh, these people are dope.
Yeah. There's a lot of really amazing people, and I remember we were trying to interview people at Anthrocon one year before we got completely shut down by the con staff because they're just like, we don't want it, because they had no idea who I was, and it's fair. I didn't know there was a press pass thing. There was one guy who's like, yeah, if I hadn't found these people and if I hadn't discovered the fandom, I'd probably have killed myself. And I'm just like,
right.
Like, other people are just like, yeah, I have a lot of friends here. There's a lot of people who are into the same things as I. The thing about it is, like, you see a lot of people that are just kind of, like, assume that a fursuiter, that's their whole personality. But, like, there's kind of, like, you see people, they have so much more to them than what you see.
Right.
So I think encountering a fursuiter, if you have like no experience with the fandom, is to just kind of go at it with an open mind. If you're uncomfortable, bail. Cool, whatever.
Yeah, because I've seen you, like me and you, we go to cons together, and like it was mostly this Comic-Con or whatever. But then you see a furry, and you're just like,
because it's not like a furry. It's not like a furry convention, you know. Right. So it's.
You're like very much like, I'm gonna talk to them and get their information and all that kind of thing.
Well, I like to be as like forward and
And Heather adopted the one girl at Retro.
That was funny, yeah. But I like to let them know, because a lot of times you hear people that are just kind of like, oh, the furry should kill themselves, but like whenever I see them, I think it's, first of all, I admire their bravery for going to a non-furry thing in suit, but at the I say bravery, but people are dicks sometimes. Yeah. So bravery. Mm-hmm. But like I also like I make it a point to communicate, because I want them to know, hey, if you're feeling unsafe, or if you're worried about something, come find us. We're Con Mom now.
Yeah.
But like, just, and also it's a super uncommon thing around here. So when you see like someone come through at like Retro Game Con, it's just kind of like, shit, okay.
And they're always really young.
They're usually pretty young around here. You go to Anthrocon though, and you'd be surprised at how many older people are actually the ones suiting. Because suits are dumb expensive. So like if you don't make it yourself, it's like $2,000, $3,000. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
I think I answered both parts of that.
You did.
All right, cool.
Well, we didn't really go into the sex thing, but.
Oh, let me touch base on that just to clear that up. What was the question?
Yes. How do you think Rule 34, like maybe messed up or ruined it, or not even just affected the fandom? Because there's porn with everything.
Oh, absolutely. That's why Rule 34 is a thing.
Yeah.
I think the way people outside of the fandom see it is like animals, but it's not that.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not qualified to speak for the entire fandom. This is just from my experience, so take it with a grain of salt. The animalistic qualities of a character are more of a personality rather than that's a cat. So
that's a cat.
Yeah,
and dog.
Why you gotta say it like that?
I'm sorry.
But so the thing about it is it's there, and people can be aggressively forward with it, but I don't. At least in my experience, it hasn't been any more so than say hentai fans or Rule 34 fans. I think it's something that we should not pretend doesn't exist, but it's not the focus of the group. If you see a fursuiter, they're not there for a sexual whatever. They're there to be in costume and have fun. So just until given reason to be wary otherwise, just chill, just have fun. They're just there to make someone smile. It's if it's not your thing, go somewhere else.